Let me ask you something. Is she really gone? Or is that just what she wants you to believe? People don't erase deep connections overnight. They don't just move on like flipping a switch. But here you are, stuck in your own head, picturing her in someone else's arms while you drown in self-doubt. Here's the truth. She hasn't moved on. She's distracting herself. That's what most people do. They bury the past under something new, hoping it'll erase what they haven't truly dealt with. But the real question isn't about her, it's about you. Are you going to keep measuring your worth based on her actions? Or are you ready to take back your power? If you're done living in illusions, hit that like button, subscribe and comment below. I refuse to be an option. Now, let's begin. Number 1. The illusion of moving on. Stop playing the victim. Do you think she has moved on because she's with someone new? That's an illusion. Human psychology doesn't work that way. Deep emotions don't just vanish overnight. They get suppressed, buried under distractions, or masked by a rebound relationship. When your ex immediately jumps into something new, she isn't healing, she's running. Running from the silence, the discomfort of loss, from facing the fact that something real just ended. Ask yourself, if she were truly over you, why the rush? Why is there a need to fill the void so quickly? A person who is emotionally complete doesn't need an immediate replacement. The reality is she's using someone else as a temporary escape from her own emptiness. And here you are, thinking she's forgotten you, thinking she's erased all those moments, all those late-night conversations, all those deep connections. That's not how the human mind works. But here's where you're making the biggest mistake, measuring your worth by her actions. You see her with someone else, assuming it means you weren't enough. That's a weakness. That's emotional slavery. A true Stoic doesn't let external events dictate his internal state. You can't control what she does, who she's with, or how she copes. What you can control is your reaction. Will you waste your energy obsessing over an illusion, or will you focus on yourself, your growth, and becoming a man so strong that her choices become irrelevant? She hasn't moved on. She's distracting herself. The sooner you realize that, the sooner you will reclaim your power. Number 2. Why she left and why that's her problem. Why are you blaming yourself for her choice? Stop thinking that you weren't enough. The truth is, people don't leave because they lack something. They leave because of their own fears, insecurities, and emotional limitations. You could have been the best version of yourself, and she still would have walked away. Why? Because it was never about you. It was about her. Some people can't handle real depth. They crave novelty over stability. They chase excitement rather than substance. And when they feel overwhelmed by something genuine, they retreat. They convince themselves that the grass is greener elsewhere, not realizing they cannot nurture it. That's her problem, not yours. You must understand one thing. The moment she left, she decided based on her perception, mindset, and issues. And that decision now belongs to her, not to you. Carrying the weight of her choice is like carrying someone else's baggage. It slows you down and serves no purpose. You can't force someone to see your value, and you shouldn't have to. A Stoic man doesn't dwell on what he can't control. He doesn't ask, "What did I do wrong?" He asks, "What can I learn from this?" He recognizes that pain is a teacher, not a prison. And he moves forward, stronger and wiser. Her departure doesn't define you, your response to it does. Let her choice be her burden to carry, not yours. Number 3. How your absence becomes your power. Silence is power. Absence is power. The shift happens when you stop chasing, explaining, and proving your worth. People take things for granted when they are always available. When you disappear, you force her to confront what she lost. Understand this: as long as you remain present in her life, whether through desperate texts, social media posts aimed at getting her attention, or simply keeping the door open, she has no reason to feel your absence. But the second you pull back completely, something changes. She starts to wonder, she starts to question. Did I make the right choice? Why isn't he reacting? Did he move on without me? This isn't about manipulation. It's about self-respect. A man who respects himself does not beg. He does not need validation from someone who walked away. He doesn't try to win her back, because he understands that the real victory is becoming the kind of man who no longer needs her. Your absence should not be a tactic, but a reflection of your growth. You disappear because you are focused on yourself, not waiting for her to miss you. And paradoxically, that's what makes her start to feel your absence. She is forced to reconsider her choices when she realizes you are no longer an option. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but eventually the silence will speak louder than any words ever could. Do not chase. Do not seek closure. Let your absence be the only answer she gets. Number 4, the dark side of winning the breakup. Do you think posting pictures with new women, flexing on social media, or showing off your better life will prove something? That's not strength. That's insecurity. Trying to win the breakup means you're still playing her game, and the moment you engage in this competition, you've already lost. A man who has truly moved on doesn't need to prove it. He doesn't need to post stories to make her jealous. He doesn't need to fake happiness just to send a message. Because real confidence, real growth, is silent. It doesn't need an audience. The more you try to show her you're over it, the more obvious it is. Meanwhile, she might be out there flaunting her new relationship, posting pictures, making sure you see how happy she is. But ask yourself, if she's really happy, why must she prove it? People who are secure in their choices don't seek validation, they just live. The Stoic approach? Indifference. You do not react, you do not engage, you do not play the game. You focus on yourself, on your growth, on your future. And in doing so, you achieve the ultimate victory. Not over her, but your own need to care. That is real power. Number 5. The moment she starts to regret. At first, she's confident in her decision. She thinks she made the right choice. Maybe she even feels relieved. But that's just the beginning of the story. Regret doesn't hit immediately. It creeps in slowly, over time, when reality sets in. Here's what happens. She expects you to react, to chase, to reach out. You need her to prove that she is so important and irreplaceable. But when you don't, when there's no desperate text, no attempt to remind her of your worth, no emotional outburst, that's when the doubt begins. She starts to compare. The new guy doesn't have your depth, energy, or presence. The excitement fades, and she realizes that what she had with you wasn't so easily replaceable. The moments she took for granted, they come back to her. The comfort she dismissed, she starts to miss it. And all the while you remain silent, unaffected, focused on your life. By the time regret kicks in, it's too late, because the man she left isn't the man she would be returning to. He has evolved, he has risen, and now her regret is her burden, not yours. That's the Stoic truth. You don't chase validation, you don't seek revenge, you simply grow beyond the need for either, and in doing so you win, not just the breakup, but yourself. Number 6. The Stoic rebuild. Becoming untouchable. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice. What separates weak men from strong men is what they do with their pain. Some drown in self-pity, looking for distractions, seeking validation, or trying to win the breakup. But the Stoic man? He uses the pain as fuel. He rebuilds himself into someone untouchable. This is not about revenge. This is not about proving anything to her. This is about you. Your body, mind, and purpose are the only things within your control. A breakup is not a setback. It's an opportunity. An opportunity to transform, to evolve, to become the man who no longer needs anyone's approval. Hit the gym, get your finances in order, cut out distractions, read, learn, build. You once wasted every ounce of energy on missing her, questioning yourself and reliving the past. Redirect it. Use it to become your most disciplined, focused, and unstoppable version. Not to impress her, not to make her regret, but because you owe it to yourself to be better. True power comes when you reach a point where nothing external can shake you. When you no longer fear loss because you've built a life so strong and fulfilling, no single person can define your worth. That is what it means to be untouchable. That is what it means to embody the Stoic mindset. Pain isn't a curse. It's the catalyst for your greatest transformation. Number 7. What happens when she reaches out? You've been silent, you've been focused, you've rebuilt yourself, and now out of nowhere she reaches out. Maybe it's a simple, "Hey, how have you been?" Maybe it's a nostalgic message about something you once shared. Maybe she just reacts to one of your stories. But make no mistake, this isn't random. She's testing the waters. She wants to know if she still has access to you, if you're still the same guy who would drop everything for her, if she still has power over your emotions. And here's where most men fail. They take the bait. They overanalyze, get excited, respond too quickly, or try to use this as a chance to win her back. A Stoic man doesn't fall into this trap. He understands that her reaching out doesn't change anything. He doesn't rush to reply. He doesn't get emotional. If he responds at all, it's brief, neutral, and in control. No desperation, no unnecessary explanations, no validation seeking. Because the truth is, by the time she reaches out, you've already moved on. You're not waiting, you're not hoping. You're too busy living your life. And that is what makes you truly powerful. The moment she realizes that she no longer has easy access to you, that you've become something greater than what she left, the dynamic shifts completely. But by then, it won't even matter to you anymore, because you no longer chase, you lead. Number 8. Attraction through detachment. The less you need her, the more powerful you become, not because you're playing games, but because detachment is the ultimate form of confidence. Most men chase, beg, and seek validation. They crave reassurance, hoping someone else's attention will confirm their worth. But a truly detached man? He is different. He is rare, and that makes him magnetic. Detachment isn't about being cold or heartless. It's about refusing to let external factors dictate your inner peace. It's about finding fulfillment within yourself instead of searching for it in someone else. A man with a mission, a purpose, and self-respect doesn't need her approval. He's too busy building his own legacy. Paradoxically, that is what draws people in. Think about it. What's more attractive, a man who constantly seeks attention, or so focused, so grounded that his presence naturally commands respect? Women are drawn to strength, not desperation, to certainty, not insecurity. And when you stop placing her on a pedestal and genuinely let go of attachment, you step into the kind of power that cannot be ignored. True attraction isn't about tactics or mind games. It's about becoming someone whole on his own. When you reach that point, you no longer chase anything. Everything comes to you. Number 9. The final Stoic truth. You were always in control. At the end of it all, there is one undeniable truth. You were never powerless. Not when she left, not when she moved on, not when you felt lost in the aftermath. The power was always in your hands. It was just a matter of realizing it. She didn't take anything from you. She didn't define your worth. The pain, heartbreak, and confusion were never signs of weakness. They were signals, warnings that you needed to turn inward, to take control of your own mind, to reclaim the life that was always yours to build. A Stoic man understands that external events, who stays, who leaves, who loves him, who doesn't, are irrelevant to his internal state. Circumstances do not control him. He is not shaken by rejection. He adapts, evolves, and moves forward because that is the only rational choice. So when you look back, you don't see a tragedy, you see a transformation. You don't see someone who lost, you see someone who learned. And now, you stand as proof that you never needed her validation, return, or regret. Because from the moment she left, the real question was never about her. It was always about you. And you were always in control. Now you know the truth. She didn't replace you. She's running from what she hasn't faced. But none of that matters unless you decide to stop watching her life like a movie you weren't invited to. The second you stop chasing, stop waiting, stop giving her power over your mind, you are not an option, you are the one who chooses. So, if you're ready to reclaim your power, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below, "I control my destiny." The journey starts now. I'll see you in the next one.